Rock Springs, Wyoming to Cape Girardeau, Missouri, from Port Charlotte, Florida to Chino, California. Let's ride. We want to ride shotgun with you for the next hour, Talkin Truckin, Deaton and Doty.
Let's ride. So, how you guys doing?
Good. How's it going?
Good. So, that I want to tell you the story. So, Mike, when your niece said hi on the show, well, my neighbor Tina and I there's some twins that have been jumping the fence every time we cook out in the backyard, and they're at our house a lot, and so they jump the fence and come over, and Gabby has been watching some of the show, and she likes the intro. So we were cooking out last night. She came over, her and her sister, and she asked me if she could write the intro, and I said, well, sure. And Tina and I were cracking up because she knew the intro. She just needed to pick her cities, and we were surprised but cracking up. And so immediately she wrote that probably in 10 minutes. And then when I got in here this morning, she sent me the audio, and she said, "Is it loud enough?" And she had texted it to me, so she wanted to say it too. So we put it on the show. So Gabby, great job. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Gabby.
Good job, Gabby.
Good job.
And Russ, I hope you don't have barbed wire on your fence.
I might have to soon. I got the new fence. I told him you're not allowed to jump the new fence anymore. So on today's show, joining us this week, we've got Tom Vadnais back, our reefer and flatbed load planner. He's with us. Ray and Jim Mackey and Nate Garner battle Matthew, our video guy, and my son, because Kumar broke down. Wide World of Sports with Joel Howle, Trucking News with Ray, because Ian is in Glacier National Park on vacation.
Running for bears. And
On the Road with Jim Mackey, Nate Garner, and Ray. I'll go into a quick market update. I wrote down a few things. We've been really busy around here with some vacations and different things like that. So Zach and I didn't have time to dig into every little aspect of the DAT weekly review.
No Ray Photoshop.
No Ray Photoshop this week with the inner tube.
Well, that was real.
But But the van load to truck ratio this past week was 6.07 loads to one truck. The reefer load to truck ratio this past week was 14.21 loads to one truck. And the flatbed load to truck ratio was 44.11 loads to one truck. And like we mentioned last week, it's kind of significant. Even though 44 loads to a truck on a flatbed sounds like a lot, 2 months ago that was over 100. You remember that, Mike?
Yeah.
So, and I think it was like in the mid 50s or close to 60 even a week ago. So, but it is typical. We're still above what we were year over year. This time last year, we're up like 40%. For the load to truck ratio for flats. So it's still up quite a bit from what it was a year ago. But yeah, we're down over 60 loads to one over 60 over the last 2 months. Mike, how was the vacation?
I mean, it turned out not to be a vacation, but I don't know. We had that hurricane coming in, and my wife had already had plans to go to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I was kind of still debating on going, and I decided not to. And my oldest son, he got sick, so we had to, before they left, so he ended up staying, not going to Tennessee, because its COVID test was the Friday they left. We just wanted to be safe and sure that wasn't it. It wasn't COVID, but just in case, we didn't want him around anyone. So I stayed back with him, and then the hurricane come in. Wasn't much of a hurricane. I went to sleep, woke up, and it was past. It was just a little bit windy and rain, but the build up to it kind of canceled all my plans. Beginning of that week, I was supposed to go down to my brother's, which is right behind me. I didn't go down there because of it, so I just turned into a mess. And then the beginning of that week, I ended up getting sick, So it was kind of all just a mess.
So
The
no
hurricane-
fishing at all.
I did a little bit. No, we went offshore actually the day before the hurricane was supposed to hit. We went offshore about 30 or 40 miles, and it was funny. We were listening to the radio, telling everybody to, hunker down inshore to get inland. But we caught a bunch of fish, made it back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll send a picture, a couple pictures and videos to
Speaking of
there,
fish,
what I
Mike Candace sent me a couple of pictures. Matt, you can throw them up on the show. Some pretty nice fish that he's caught. But he's going on a. He emailed me. He said, "Don't worry, I'm going to win that fishing contest. I'm going with my brother. He's I guess his brother's a fishing guide up in Alaska, so he's going at the beginning of August. Yeah, he said so. They're going after some monsters out there in Alaska." So he said, "Don't worry, I'm going to win the contest. I'll send some great pictures coming up." So Tom and Mike, you guys, I think you might have your work cut out for you. We got some monsters from both of you.
They're literally.
I already said I would. I already said I would gracefully bow out, but I got some pictures from this offshore trip that, just fish covering the whole floor of the boat. Bunch of grouper and red snapper in season. Got some nice ones of those, and some mangrove snappers. So yeah, it worked out well.
So Tom, you with us?
Yeah.
So glad to have you back, Tom. Been a long road, but you got through it. We're real happy to see you back on the show.
I'm getting there. I got a few weeks ahead of me yet, but we will see.
Yeah.
I sent you a picture of the railroad track in case you want to pass it on to all your smokers out there.
Yeah, I want to see it.
I will. You want me to put it on the show? I'll give it to Matthew. Let him know.
Yeah.
Tom has been smoke-free since his heart surgery.
Oh, have you? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. He's got to do it. So that's just got to do it. But Tom, we're real happy to have you back, especially me, because this past week Tom's been booking some loads and it's taking a little bit off of my plate, and that's been great. But don't push it, buddy. We got you, so we'll keep it rolling. Whatever you need us to do, we're here.
The reefer rates are they got weird in the last week. I suspected Michigan to get rolling harder, but it's probably going to be another 3 weeks before the Michigan produce starts going back. The West is still doing okay. Joanna's on a pretty good one. I loaded her out of up to Reno down to Mira Loma, 400 and whatever it was miles, and it paid $3,000. Then she's unloading in Mira Loma, reloading in Mira Loma, back to Virginia tomorrow for 8,800. So that little week's got her at 12,000 already. So I'm sure she's
That's
like
a nice
that.
week. So, Tom, we've been talking about those cherries, and you know what we got for Jesse last week, like $10,000 coming across to Jersey. He delivered that. But you said it dropped a little bit this week.
A little bit. It's in the, and that was yesterday's prediction, because the brokers always try to sell the truck on Wednesday, Friday, because it's going to save them $500, $600, $700.
So they're trying to get you
Bill-
locked in on Wednesday. What you're
Yeah.
saying? Lock it in on Wednesday for a Friday load, and because Friday they're going to pay all the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why I always, in a good area, I think it's better to wait till day of. You're in a good area.
Exactly. That's what Tom and I both do, and I know you do that, Mike. What were they telling you today, Tom, on those rates coming out?
9,000, and I told her, I said, that ain't gonna fly with me. I said, if you want to book the truck for, I'll do one for 1-and-1 cherries out of Yak going to Jersey, 9,800 if you want to lock one in. And she goes, oh, there's plenty of trucks up here. and she's emailed me back, and she said, "Will you still do it for 98?" And I said, "No, it's 10.5. You should have jumped on it." Let her soak on it tomorrow, because I'm looking at the cherry load starting to really jump. So
Yeah.
I don't care. Bill can sit till Friday, and I'll pluck one mid-morning, and
You'll get all the money that way.
it's Jersey's not bad. Virginia's really took off. I was surprised out of the rates out of Virginia right now for reavers. They're all $3, $3.30 coming out of there right now. So that's why I took the one for Joanna going there. Like I say, then we'll see. Oregon's fell off a little bit. Southern Cal's still doing good. Nogales is off just a little bit. Texas Valley is off just a little bit. But
Tom,
New Mexico.
Tom, wouldn't you say if you're up in Oregon, it depending on where, but I would think it'd be worth the 200-300 mile deadhead to get to Yakima and get cherries rather than come out of Oregon for a longer load, right?
The way I've been doing it is like you need to load from, where in Michigan, our regular guy up there, go to SoCal, then load out of SoCal up to Seattle for $5,000. So that starts your week out at 5. Then you're up there and then head over to Yakima, 200 miles, and get 8, 9, 10 coming across. You get that for the extra 1,000 miles. It's a extra $5,000 when the rates are comparable in Washington or California. Why not get that 5 for 890, 900 miles, what it was, then reload up there? So it just makes sense to me.
Even like you did, Tom's slowly been, over the last couple of weeks, been booking a truck here or there while he's recovering. I mentioned last week's show, Tom, what I booked Jesse out of Yakima, but you booked him up there. It's exactly what you did out of Arizona. You even did better than that. You got $7,000 on 1,400 miles to get him up there. Started the week. It actually ends up being a week and a half, but still, we got $7,000 going up on 14, and then I got 10 across. So it totally makes sense.
And that's
I
good.
guess I guess what it comes down to is that little basket of cherries you sent me, Russ. You must have paid out the soup for them.
You know what I did, guys? Well, Tina, I got to give credit to Tina. It was her idea. We wanted to send Tom something, but we were going to send it to the hospital when he was in the hospital, but we talked to Judy and said, well, we'll just wait till he got home. So Tom and I have been going round and round about the cherries, when it's going to start, when it's all good and fun, just messing with each other. And then he went in the hospital and all that. So when he got home, we sent him a gift basket full of cherries, and it came in the mail at his house. So it was kind of a joke. But I knew Tom.
Better timing after eating all those meds in hospital food for a week. And you're bound up like a billy goat, and that shirt
flushes you right out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you guys are the ones giving the U.S. Post Office business with all these jokes.
I know, right? Tom and I have had boxes going back and forth for a couple of years now. I send him some Cleveland stuff. He sends me some stuff from down there. We had a freezer box. Listen, I got to tell you what Tom did to me about a year ago. So, and Mike, you know what walleye is. Obviously, you're a fisherman. So Cleveland's known for walleye, especially out of Lake Erie. It's the prize fish here, other than steelhead trout. But so walleye in the grocery store here, it's about, I want to say $14.99 a pound or something like that. Maybe a little more. Well, it was on sale for like $9.99 a pound at our grocery store, and I told Tom, but by the time he's sending me a freezer box. He wants me to package up like 50 pounds of walleye and overnight it to him. And then I went back down there, and it was already off sale. They didn't have any more, right? So Tom's now he knows the name of the supermarket by my house. He was watching the ads, and when the day it went on sale, this was maybe a month later, it went back on sale. He didn't even call me. He calls the grocery store, put in an order for as much as they had, and then he calls me and says, they're boxing it up. You got to go get it now. I had it, and we were working remotely. It was during COVID, and I'm like, I don't even want to go to the grocery store, but they're already boxing it up. He's like, here, go ask for this lady at the fish market. And he goes, mail it to me. So that's how he got me to send it to him. And I did. I thought that was hilarious. Not at the time. I was kind of griping at him because I didn't feel like going to the grocery store, but he put me foot to the fire, Tom.
That sounds like a Hank Jr. song.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, so yeah, the cherries was fun. That was fun to send it to him. And like Tina said, Tom's not going to want flowers anyway, so we sent him cherries. What else is going on, Tom, down there in Georgia?
Just wrapping up. I've been wanting to go striper fishing. The damn fish are blowed up here big time. But they're saying, man, don't be lifting anything over 15 pounds. Well, the doggone baits we use for stripers are almost 15 pounds. But hopefully I'll catch it when the Savannah starts getting hotter and hotter. They run up to Hartwell Dam and they start pulling that water out of the dams there, and those fish stack up there, big fish.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. Just go up there and anchor at night and throw a bunch of cut bait out, and just the rods go insane at night up there.
And hey,
You're
guys,
only fishing 3 foot of water.
That's what Mike's used to. That's what he fishes in, a foot of water. So Tom's cabin on the lake is almost done, and so we'll be able to take the whole we'll take the whole Talkin Truckin crew down to Tom's lake house. We could do some fishing. We can bug Tom for a couple of days.
Watch Deliverance.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, watch Deliverance, listen for the band.
Yeah, we're just gonna surprise him. Tom's already texted me.
I wish you'd do it now so you could bring the drywall tools.
Yeah, and Joel, he wants Joel down there to help him hang drywall.
I could bring the walleye.
Take your laptop, Joel. You got to work.
Drywall and walleye.
So, Nate Garner, are you there? So what Tom book you? I know I got you that run to get you out of Minnesota. We had to get you home, too, to Indiana. And you ended up in O'Fallon, Missouri. Today you delivered, and I told you I was going to try and find you a straight through or something in the morning. It's only 250 miles, and then you're going home. And then I got swamped up here. Mike Doty and I were working out a dedicated thing for one of Mike's drivers, and then we had the show. We had to get prepared, but I never looked for you, Nate. Sorry, buddy. And then all of a sudden, Tom texted me and said, I got Nate. And I was like, thank God.
He didn't want to go to Maine anyways.
He didn't want to go to Maine anyways.
Oh, you're good.
I would have told you, I got the money going to Maine. You'll be home, but not till Monday. And you got a deadhead.
Yeah.
So what's going on? You're going to be home for what? 3-4 days? Monday maybe come out? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. 'Cause I'm getting my windshield put in tomorrow, and I need to go to the DMV, re-up my plate, and take my motorcycles.
Tell us about your bike.
Yeah, I thought you were building. I thought you've been the same bike for a long time.
Yet.
Or did you get rid of
Since
that?
I bought my motorcycle anyway. Well, I've still got it, and I still have plans for it. It's just, I can't ride it the way it is. I've ordered a bunch of parts for it, stuff like that, but I need to get it into another shop and actually have an actual mechanic put the damn valves back in it, because when I put it back together, one of the valves busted out of it. I had to take it all back apart again. So, I've got everything I need to finish it. I need to be home for 3 or 4 days so I can find an actual shop that'll do it, and then take it over there and drop it off and all that nice stuff.
You got something to
So
ride. Well, hey, send us
I
the
bought
pictures.
another bike off
we'll
of
throw it up on the show while you're talking
a
about
buddy
it.
of mine's dad
let me know.
that's actually running.
Man, I don't know
So
how the
maybe
motorcycle
ride it.
test is up there, but I took my motorcycle test a long time ago, and I failed it the first time, man. At the DMV, it was a tight course, and I had been riding all my life pretty much. But that course, that little road course they took me on, it was so tight, I failed it. And
what were you riding? A moped?
well, it's funny you say that, right? No, I had a street bike. Actually, I think I got a picture of one of mine. I'll put it up right behind me here in a second. But I had been riding for a while, but they said that a lot of the guys, as long as it was over like 50 cc or whatever it was, or 65 cc, you can take your motorcycle test down here on a moped. And they said that's what a lot of people do, or they go to the motorcycle school for a day or 2 days or whatever it is. Then you get a voucher to, that you don't have to take so that's what I had to do. But the course was tight, and I couldn't lean the bike over to turn. I was pissed. I wheelied out of there. I was irritated.
Did you end up taking it again and passing, or no?
Well, I went to the motorcycle school thing that they give you, you do their course and they give you a voucher or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what they do up here. My bike is a Softail, and doing the course and everything on a smaller bike would actually be, it'd be easier. And I mean, you can just go straight up to the course and, and pay however much money and do everything there over the weekend. I think the course is like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they give you your voucher. You can go up to the DMV on Monday and just turn it in. But I mean, you don't have to do that. I mean, you can just go get your permit.
I got a
and
bicycle,
then go ride your
pedal
bike
with the bell on it.
I mean, at least then they won't tow it if you get pulled over.
Yeah,
for doing
I got a leather
something
jacket
stupid,
though.
but,
I got a leather jacket and a helmet with a spike on it. I ride it to work. Yeah. What is that? What are you riding behind you? Is that a banana peel?
Yeah, that was my old bike, or one of them. Yeah,
fast banana peel.
Oh, you were one of those guys.
That's a fast banana peel right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was a 1300.
He's got a Harley, and listen, until we see the pictures, he's got ape hangers on him that are 6 feet in the air.
Slow, that's why I got a Harley.
But Nate's really tall, so he can reach him.
He's level. He's level.
He's level. Yeah.
Keep his beard off the ground.
If I had it to do over, if I got another bike, I'd definitely get something like that. And these bikes, I wasn't responsible. I went over backwards doing a wheelie at like 70 at one point. Was in the hospital.
Sounds safe.
I laid it down a couple other times. I
was thinking about getting a sidecar bike with a sidecar,
for me.
but Tina wouldn't ride with me and wear the glasses. So
I'll do it.
I'll jump
You've got to ride the bike, and you can be in the sidecar.
Yeah.
Ding 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 ding.
That'd be a sight.
Yeah.
Hey Tom,
I put mine down a couple times.
you still there, Tom?
Yeah.
Did you used to ride? Didn't you way back in the day in California and all that?
Yep. Still. Actually, I was just. I found an old flathead down here, a barn find, and I'm probably going to go get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
It's an old crusty flathead, and I think I'm going to go get it.
It'll give you something to do in the garage.
Well, like I need more shit in the garage.
Well, actually, so Tom's got this truck that even through the whole I think you started it, a year and a half ago, Tom? Something like that?
Yeah.
He's got a really nice truck. What year is that? What is it?
It's a 53 Ford on a late model F-150 chassis. I just shortened the wheelbase, did all the sheet metal, had it all painted, and it's all on a late model chassis and lifted, and it's got a fresh motor in it. And
I've seen pictures of it.
One problem. the garage door is 9 foot, and I can't get it out of the damn door now. So I'm gonna have to put
He's got
smaller
some-
tires on it to get it out of the garage.
The chainsaw.
He's gonna have the carpenter come. Oh, you got to take the tires off or flatten the tires.
He's got to loop the door.
Yeah, quite a bit, or just
Yeah.
put the small ones back on it. But
Hey,
I
Tom.
hope they haven't done it. It's a cool truck.
It is. He sent me pictures of it all last year when we were working together, when we were all quarantined in our garages working. And I tried every way I could to get him to sell it to me when he's done, but he's not going to. But text me some more pictures, Tom. I want to show them while we're talking about it on the show. I'll have Matthew put it up. That truck is really sweet. I liked it. What about you, Jim Mackey? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You got an old flathead laying around on the farm, or
No, actually, what I'm looking for is an old
Corvette.
Fiero to make a trike out of.
Fiero
Yeah,
to make a what out of?
a trike.
Oh yeah, okay.
When did they stop making those?
Probably 82. Tom would
Oh,
know.
it was like 89.
Yeah, I think it was 81, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Oh, Fieros.
They
You
only
remember
made
the
them for
late 80s?
5 years.
You remember the Fieros, Tom? Pontiac?
That's like
Yeah.
a fiber body, right? One piece fiberglass body,
What fiberglass? That was
Yeah.
one of the first ones they made like that.
engine in the back.
It was a
Yep.
Yeah.
the only water cooled rear mount engine there is,
Yeah.
American made.
Yeah.
And in my eyes, that's just as cool as a Harley Davidson.
It was really cool. I liked the Fieros, and I don't think they made them for very long.
They were
They're
were about go off roading down
nicknamed
the
the
road.
Fire Bum.
I've seen
there-
the Euro trike.
They had
They're
a lot of
actually
fires
pretty
and
neat.
stuff. There was some
Yeah.
electrical issues.
Are they
Yeah.
hard to find?
They're from 83 to 88.
83 to 88. Yeah, I knew it wasn't long.
Yeah,
Are they readily available, Jim? Are they hard to find or what?
to find a decent one, they are. They're hard to find.
Yeah.
I had one found, and I bought it and everything, but I never got back to it. And then I went by the place; it's gone. So I guess I gave it to him.
Yeah.
But, that's my plans. I want to build a trike out of one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to have an old pickup truck. I don't really have a preference of what. That's why I was trying to buy Tom's. I was wanting him to do all the work, and then I'll just go pick it up. And but I don't know. I'm not done with him, Tom. I'm still working on you on that one.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I'm looking at pictures of a Fiero trike. They do look pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a street glide.
I
so-
couldn't picture it, what it looked like. What a Fiero trike looked like.
Yeah. Mike, send that picture to Matthew or me. We'll get it on. I want to see it too.
Yeah, it
Um,
was.
I've never seen one. So, Ray, you're back at home, I see.
Yeah, I am.
See? Not in the floaty, though.
Not in,
Not yet.
Ray, we just didn't have time this week, but we were definitely gonna put you in the floaty and put you somewhere. But
On the moon.
yeah, we'll do it next week. Happy to see that your new driver Michael's going. He's rolling. I think he's gonna do real well. He's gonna do real well for you. So where is your truck done? You getting ready to head out tomorrow or the next day?
yeah, they called me today. My truck is ready. What it was is, I guess when they swapped out that turbo, they don't know if it was when they swapped out the turbo, but my Jake brakes were not working, so we had to get somebody down and reprogram it. Something about the ECM, so they just called me. I was ready.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be down there tomorrow to pick it up.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and
So-
then and Michael, when he took off, he had to get an inspection, so we had to replace 6 tires on that truck, and get a city horn, so it has a Freightliner horn on it right now. So
Yeah. Yeah, they told Ray they don't have a horn. It's a Kenworth T680. And Ray said, I don't care what kind of horn you put in. You could put a Volkswagen horn in it. Just get a city horn in it so I can get out of here.
Beep,
Or
beep.
Michael can get out of there.
I don't care if it goes beep.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Right.
busted speaker.
Jesse got to Jersey, and we got some front end problems, and I didn't want to take any chances. And like I said, we got 10 grand coming across on 27. I told him when he delivered the other day, I said, just deadhead here to Barberton. It's like 450 miles. We can afford the deadhead. I want to get Troy, our mechanic, on it. We thought it'd be a couple days, so Jesse got in a hotel last night, but Troy said he's got to order parts, front end stuff, and is a little more in depth than we thought. So he said it's gonna take him a week. So luckily we have another ProStar 16 in the yard that we were going through it. Joel was gonna put a driver in it, and but that driver's probably a week or so out. So we just told Carol went down and picked up Jesse. He was a half hour away at the hotel. We brought him up here. He's jumping in that truck. So, Tom, just so you know, I didn't have a chance to tell you, but we can book Jesse tomorrow. Trish and her team he's switching the Omni from another truck into there now, and Trish is going to get him onboarded on it. So he'll be ready to
good.
roll
We can send him up to Michigan.
Yeah, you could do that. The only thing we got to do.
Another load of cherries are going west.
Well, we can't go west yet because he needs a camera. We need a camera in that truck, and so I told Trish that we'll get him early next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll get him down to Norm and get that in. So we can send him to Michigan, but maybe we want to keep him going maybe to Florida or going south, or we'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll figure it out.
We'll be needing
least,
in my truck too.
At least he can bring in, generate some revenue while we're, I'm probably going to spend, I don't know, $4 or $5 grand on the truck. I'm not really sure yet, but at least he can generate some revenue while it's down to help pay for the repair. Okay. By the way, guys, on our fleet, Ray does this. Ray found a really good deal on tires today down there. Where was it? Temple, Texas, Ray?
Yeah, Temple, Texas. It's a company called Texas Commercial Tire. And if you're interested in it, they're right next door to the Loves in Troy, Texas, which is exit 308. If you're coming south, it's exit 308. If you're going north, it's exit 306, I believe.
Troy or Temple?
Troy, Texas. Well, if you look at the Loves app, it'll be called Troy, but it's actually right outside Temple. But it's a mile and a half south on the access road from the Loves, and it's called Texas Commercial Tires, and we got a good deal. We got six Falcon tires for $370 a piece.
Yeah.
So $375 installed.
American-made tires.
Yeah, they're American-made tires, not Chinese tires. So I mean that's what I decided to go with.
And that's a good price.
Yeah, installed. I think they're they're right around $400 a piece installed, and then disposal, all that good stuff.
They're virgin, right?
Yeah,
virgin rubber. Yeah.
Yeah. What I was getting at when I mentioned that to you, Ray, is so, with my truck that Jesse drives, we have some big weeks and we have some average weeks, just like anybody else. But on those big weeks, man, I throw money into the reserve. So, and I'm going to do that again this week because we got that, that big load from Yakima coming Thursday. But so whatever I got to spend on the front end, it's in my reserve, and I don't have to borrow it. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to pay interest on it. And the same thing, Ray called me today, and he said, "Hey, can you have Metal Arc pay for the tires?" And I said, "Yeah, no problem." Ray's never asked to borrow anything, and so I called Michelle in accounting, and I told her, and she said absolutely, and she said I'll send an email out right now, so as soon as we get the estimate, we'll pay it. And then I called Ray back or something. He goes, he told me, I got the money in the reserve, and that's my point, guys. When you get some big checks out there on the road, put some away. John Duhan does the same thing. John does it a different way. He takes about half his check every week and he throws it into his reserve. So Ray was able to pay for most of his tires with his reserve, 6 tires. I'll be able to pay for all of Jesse's front end work, plus we're doing a few other things. It'll probably be $5 grand. I don't know, but we'll be able to pay for it. We don't have to borrow any money. Guys, listen, if you need it, we'll help you if you're in a jam, but it costs you, and banks don't loan money for free, and we're not a bank, so it's just the way it is.
The good thing too is if you need to make a payment, like what I did is I found a tire company in the tire shop, and the first thing I asked them is, do you guys accept Com data? because I'm going to pay to a com data check. And they said, yeah, we take it. We just don't have any checks here. You got to bring your own. So, if you can work with them. The other thing you can do too, and I've worked this out with Meadowlark too, is I had to buy a part from Kenworth, and I knew that in advance. So I called Kenworth and ordered the part, had them put it on hold for me. And once I knew the exact dollar amount, I called Meadowlark and they released that into my business account. Right. So that way I had the money just right there to pay for it.
And he's taking it from his reserve. That's my point.
Exactly.
Be ahead of things, because let's face it, guys, we're always putting miles on them, and we always it's going to pay you, but I told Jesse today, we've done great this whole year, and we haven't put much into the truck. Last year's expenses and repairs on that truck, we had some pretty good size ones, but we made it right back, and I told Jesse, I said, hey, we've had some really great weeks all year, and sometimes you got to give it back to the truck. It's important to keep it for the next 6, 7 months, 8 months, whatever it is. So that's what we're doing. And Mike, I just mentioned John. John had a pretty hefty repair. It wasn't that long ago. I think it was like $5,000, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had kind of one right after the other. He had a clutch that was, and a few other things. It was like $3,000 or $4,000. That was the beginning of the year.
And he paid that off. And
paid that off. Then he had that breakdown, the gelling issue in North Dakota. Yeah. That was a couple of grand, like 3 or 4 toes. Paid that off.
Paid that off.
Yeah. And then this John
was. Mike, you've told him, hey, it's better to save it in your reserve and the money's there rather than, paying interest on it. And Mike, you coached him well. He got it. And ever since then, he's been telling, when I do payroll, he's like, Russ, put half my check in the reserve. His financial situation is probably a little different because John does get a retirement check, albeit it's not that huge, but, I think it's from the military. But he's like, whatever, half my check in the reserve. I want to be able to pay my own maintenance and repairs. And then that last one, Mike, that was 49. He had almost enough in there to pay it. So we helped him.
Well, that was from one check. That was because it was the week before he was going to take home like $7,000.
$7,000. Yeah.
And it was for like a week and a half. A load fell into,
the next week.
Yeah. But he was going to take home like $7,000. So he put $3,500 into his reserve.
Yeah.
And then it just so happened the following week, had to use it again, but it was there. He only had to, And
then last week he's been running. Then last week, when I did Apparel, he's like, put half in there. I know I used it. Put half of my check in there. I'm not telling guys you need to put half your check in your reserve. I'm not saying that at all. I set mine up at $250 a week out of that truck that Jesse drives. Ray, I think you do the same, don't you?
$250 a week.
Yeah, and then, like I said, on some really big weeks, if we take home $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000 on that truck, I'll tell Teresa, hey, take another $1,000, put it in my reserve. Take 15, put it in my reserve. And it's there. If I need it for something else or whatever, I can tell her to send it, give it to me. They will. Yeah. So
another thing too, and if I know everybody's situation is different. 6 years ago, 2014, 15, my credit was crap. But what I do is I just do the $50 a week in the maintenance reserve, but I don't touch it. I got, even at $50 a week, I think I still got over $1,000 in there right now.
Yeah.
But I use my business credit card for everything because I get
rewards,
cash back.
Yeah.
Rewards, up to 3% depending on what I spend it on. So like I have everything, like I get 3% for like, I think cell phone and so my internet for, the business and the home and my, cell phone stuff, my phone, all that gets, automatically deducted each month from my business credit card. And then I just pay that off each month. So I don't have any interest, but I still get all the,
that's a good idea.
Points.
Ray does the same thing. He's been doing it for years.
Yeah, I do the same thing, but when it comes to tires, I try to go through Meadowlark only because they have a national account that you can't make the price. when it comes to tires, usually maintenance I pay myself out of my own credit or business account, whichever ways is needed at the time. But tires, I like to go to Metal Lark's account because you get a really good discount through their national account.
Yeah. Except for this time, it seemed it was a little bit cheaper to use that place.
Yes,
that you found.
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
yeah.
And normally I run Michelin. I like running Michelin, but I since the tires on this truck were already kind of mix match, I just decided to go with these. And when we run these to the ground, I'm going to swap them all out to Michelin again.
And guys, if anyone on our fleet, or the Dawson fleet, or anyone at Metal Lark, any driver, if you want more information, feel free to reach out to Mike Doty, to Ray, or to me, or to anyone on this show that if you want information how we did it and to save you money, we're more than happy to help you. More than happy.
Yep.
Before we get on to sports, AC called me today, and he had an extra ticket to the Hall of Fame game with the Dallas Cowboys. I think it's August 5th. Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm a Pittsburgh hater. And AC and I forget who's going. A couple people in his family. They're all Pittsburgh fans. There's 3 of them, and then me. And I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm a Browns fan first. So I'm gonna get my Cowboys gear out, and I'm going with my terrible. I'm gonna call it my terrible blue and silver towel, and I'm gonna talk a lot of smack to those 3 people, AC and his family, when I'm there. AC was cracking up when I told him that today. But thanks, AC, for inviting me. His dad was sick with pneumonia, and it's unfortunate. He's not gonna be able to go. He's doing okay, AC said, but he won't be ready to go by then. So that's why he asked me to take that ticket, and I was very happy to. He actually asked Ray first because Ray's from Texas, and him and Ray are friends. But Ray's like, Russell likes football way more than me, and so that'll be fun.
I did say that.
Yeah, he told me that. But that'll be fun, and maybe I can get a couple of pictures or even a video of me and them out there at the Hall of Fame.
Out in a fight.
I won't get thrown out, and I'm not violent, so I won't do that. But I do like to heckle, and I will do that. So having said all that, Joel, what's going on in the wide world of sports?
We don't need no stinking commercial. Well, what's up, guys? It's that time again. Talk a little sports here. Last night, Major League Baseball had the All-Star game from Coors Field. I hope you were able to tune in. The American League 5, the National League 2. That's 8 out of the last 10 years. And Monday, we had the Home Run Derby. Congratulations to Pete Alonso for hitting 74 home runs in one night. That is the second time that he has won the Home Run Derby in the last 4 years. First time was here in Cleveland. All right, over in the American League East, Boston, still 1.5. That's 1.5 over Tampa Bay. In the Central, Chicago White Sox, 8 over the Cleveland Indians. Looks like they'll make the playoffs. And out west, Houston still leads Oakland A's by 3.5. Over in the National League East, New York Mets lead the Philadelphia Phillies by 3.5 games. In the Central, Milwaukee is 4 over Cincinnati. Where you at, Cubbies? And
hey, Joel, who won the Home Run Derby?
Pete Alonso.
He just said it.
I didn't hear him.
I'm sorry.
What
The
place
polar
did
bear.
Shohei Ohtani go in?
Shohei lost in the first round to Soto from the Nationals.
Yeah.
He hit a lot of lines. He hit some home runs, but he didn't. Actually, they went to a home run playoff, if you will, those two, and he lost. But congratulations to Pete Alonso.
Gotcha.
He hit 74 in one night, 35 in the first round.
I would have hit 75. Easy.
He won $1 million.
Curious, is Jim Mackey an Astros fan? Jim Mackey said you're here.
He's a Cubs fan.
He's a Cubs fan.
Oh, I thought maybe he'd be an Astros fan.
No, him and Mom like the Cubs.
Oh, okay.
His mom's from Iowa.
Yeah.
Close to.
My grandma, when she was alive, she was a hardcore Astros fan. Always watching baseball.
Yeah, I always asked. And we'll get right back to you, Joel. But Mackey, I asked Mackey's brother when we were at the cattle show, So I thought Mackey was always from Texas. He's not, and neither is his brother. His brother moved down there and started the big farm and the ranch, and so that's how Jim ended up down there. But you're from Iowa, right, Jim?
Yeah, up by Cedar Rapids. About
Yeah, he's a
35
Yankee
miles
like
east.
me.
Speaking of which, the Yankees and the White Sox are going to play a game out in Iowa cornfield. It's called Field of Dreams. That's coming up. I'll get the date for you. Second half starts tomorrow from the Bronx, Boston, and the Yankees. All right, moving over to the NFL training camp next week.
Yeah.
7/21. Nothing much around the league except some players in trouble.
I saw that. What about Aaron Rodgers? Anything?
Aaron Rodgers, no new news.
Supposedly that he's announcing it this week,
He's going to pop out of a cake.
but it's already Wednesday, so
Because their training camp starts like the 22nd or 3rd or something like that.
Dallas and Pittsburgh, they start before everybody.
You're right,
else.
because they got the Hall of
Got the
Fame
game
game, so
coming
they
up.
got to start
Right.
first.
And we're still trying to come up with a name for the Washington football team. But over in the NBA, game 4 tonight from Milwaukee. They're down 2-1 to the Phoenix Suns. They definitely want to tie it tonight. Try to get that series even back to Phoenix.
Go Bucks.
Bucks are favorite tonight, 4.5. Over and under is 221. Game 5 Saturday in the Valley.
I don't have anything to do with either city, but I like small market teams, and I'm go Bucks.
Bucks.
I'm going Suns.
Yeah.
You went Suns in 4, didn't you?
Yeah.
I guess that's over.
I'm not saying I think the Bucks are going to do it, but
Said Suns in 6.
I'm rooting for them.
All right, over in the NHL, no new news there except Tampa Bay's in hot water for destroying Lord Stanley's Cup.
What happened?
I guess
You didn't see it?
No, I didn't see
Oh
it.
my god.
They had
We put
another
a
boat
big-
parade.
We put a big dent in it.
Oh, so they did it like Tom Brady when he was throwing the.
Yeah, except it's sunk to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, they got to get divers out.
Oh, my gosh.
No, we didn't drop it in the water,
They
did
did
we?
not.
No, we
Somebody's
didn't.
boat up.
Florida man.
Florida man drops the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Well, they had. I know we didn't drop it in the water, but I know they had divers on standby on a boat, like
Wow.
just in case going
Go
down
Tampa Bay.
down the Hillsborough
That's
River.
right.
But
Go Tampa Bay.
they had divers on standby. I'm sure they had. If they didn't have it for the Lombardi Trophy, they had it now. They learned their lesson.
They had the
But
paparazzi on
I think
standby.
they have it. But yeah, there was divers on standby just in case they went in the water. I don't think they threw that one though, but somehow it got dented pretty good. So I think it gets shipped back up to
They're not
Canada
getting the
or
title
something
back.
to get fixed.
So what's going on in MMA? Big fight last weekend.
Well, no Kumar here. Honestly, I was hoping he would be. All I know is
So-
McGregor broke his ankle.
Kumar
Poirier-
broke down on his way here.
No,
He was
McGregor
coming.
broke his
Well, Kumar broke down too.
kidding.
On his way here from Columbus, Ohio, picking up his dog, he called me at 2:00 and said, "I'm broke down. The tow truck's coming, and there's no way I can get there." So, Zach, can you fill us in on what happened with McGregor's leg?
Yeah, he threw the fight.
He threw the fight.
Like first round too, right?
Yeah, it was the first round. I didn't watch it at all. I didn't go
Yeah.
to Coombs' house, but
I read about it. That's about it.
I guess he just fell backwards, like weird.
Yeah, broke it. Yeah.
No, he snapped his, I think, ankle
Was it pretty
or
gruesome,
leg
Nate?
or something. You can actually, there's a few pictures up on Facebook about it I've seen. I didn't read anything about it. I just seen the picture. Oh, he didn't, I mean, the way it looked like he kicked and came back and tried to
the
put weight
thing-
down on his leg.
Yeah, the
and
thing they were
you could
saying
just
is he
see it
kicked and
bend as
maybe
he's putting
they
weight
think
down on it. It
Justin
didn't
think I
look
saw
very,
I
yeah,
saw the
it
interview
looked
with
very,
Justin
very painful.
afterwards, but they think he checked Connor's kick, and that's what
Threw him off
broke
balance
it.
or
Or
something.
well, no, Connor went to kick. He checked the kick, and that's what broke it. And then when Connor stepped back to put weight on it, that's when it just
Made it
snapped.
worse.
I think
Yeah.
Portier's wife
Yeah.
put a spell on him.
Yeah, and then he made the comments while he was on the ground. You know, he'd kill him or whatever. He
Oh
said.
yeah, I read that he was going to murder him. He said.
Yeah,
that's a little. That's taking a little too far.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Your county.
Yeah, we're up to 4 on Joel's
All right.
cough.
Lastly, we don't know anything about that. Lastly, in sports, golf next week, 2021 Open, July 15th through the 18th. Royal St. George, that's in Sandwich, England. I know you'll be there. And in tennis, number 1, Novak Djokovic from Serbia. And the women's side, Ashley Barty from Australia. And that wraps it up this week in sports. Good luck, Bucks. And go.
Has anyone heard any updates on Tiger? Speaking of their golf.
I haven't. I heard he's recovering well, but I haven't. That's about it.
Yeah, I haven't heard any.
Yeah. Sandwich, England.
From Sandwich,
Sounds
England
good.
to
What kind?
That's just funny. All right. So getting on with it. So Kumar broke down. Let's get to the news real quick. In the news, so Ian is in Glacier National Park. He's on vacation. I mentioned that earlier. So Ray is taking over the news this week. So in the news with Ray.
Well, that's news in itself that Ian's on vacation. So
Yeah.
I bugged him a little bit before I found out. I think the one thing that everybody's wanting to know is I-40 bridge pretty much set to reopen at the end of July, which that's gonna be a good thing. Kind of help alleviate some of that traffic on the 55 South right there. I've been through there a couple of times. Once on a weekend, no traffic at all, but it's a whole different story whenever you go during the day on a weekday, and that's gonna help out a lot. Let's see, what else we got? Port of Vancouver. So we got
that's in British Columbia too, north of Washington State.
North of Washington State, yeah. So they got congestion mountain due to the wildfires up there, and I'm not sure if what is it? They're rerouting or what are they doing up there to see?
So what?
The
railroads. Yeah.
Yeah,
So what they're doing is
railroad.
they're kind of the Canadian Pacific Railway and the Canadian National Railway. They've got some kind of agreement that they're using each other's tracks, so they can still they're starting to move freight again on those tracks, but they're pretty backed up in the port. I think Ray, what was it, 39 ships still anchored?
Yeah, 39 ships. Yeah. So they got 39 ships that are anchored out there in Canada's largest port. So that's a huge backup right there.
Yeah.
Other than that, let me see what else we got. Border Service, Canadian Border Service.
Yeah,
agents.
it's the guys that let you in and out of the border, whether it's commercial or personal traffic.
So it says that they're voting on whether to authorize a strike or not there.
Yep.
Does that pertain
that's
to
huge.
truck drivers?
Yeah,
That's what I want to know.
Well, that's what it's. I read it too, Ray. So basically, the Canadian Border Service, they're voting today. I don't know. We'll try and look it up and find out tomorrow what happened. But I guess the head of their union or their somebody big up there said that they're not going to strike at every port. They're not trying to shut down the whole country and shipping in and out of America, but that the strike is going to affect that port that you mentioned earlier, Ray, the port of Vancouver, which is the largest port in Canada, which already has, like you said, 39 ships and 6 large container ships there anchored waiting because of the wildfires. So that what was interesting, if they strike that port, that could affect billions of dollars of goods moving across the U.S. and Canada border, potentially will add to the capacity crunch. So, I mean, that's a big deal when we're already tight on capacity just about everywhere. So we'll keep an eye on that. Go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, and then I think that would also, well, before we move on to the last one, but I think that would also add to, if it adds to the crunch, that'll also raise rates, wouldn't it? More than likely.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you don't,
I mean,
I think there's a tug and a war with it, Mike. Don't you agree? So if we got, stuff that can't get off the get out of the port, you might see the rates drop in an area because there's nothing coming in. But once it does start releasing, you know, and those floodgates open, then you're going to be flooded with, you know, volume, and so yeah, you're going to have to pay.
Like California, they had so much volume that couldn't be shipped out, so the rates go up. So it's like a ripple effect, I guess.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's the north side of the West Coast, or, you know, it's up north on the West Coast. So yeah, it's just all the way up and down, even up into Canada, where that West Coast is just, I mean, they're just capacity. They need trucks, and then stuff like this happens, and then they won't need them for a week or two, and then things open up, and then bam, you know, everybody's trying to ship everything all at once.
Right. And then, of course, the last thing is monsoon season is from June 5th to September 30th. Arizona and New Mexico review up to half of their annual rainfall during this period each year. So that's, you know, I guess they don't get a lot of rain, right? But they get it during monsoon season. Yeah.
And I visited when Matt, you probably remember this. We went to the Grand Canyon during monsoon season when you were young. I don't know how old were you, Matt? Probably.
I was in fifth grade. So
fifth grade.
10.
So we were real excited. Nathan and Matthew, we went out there. We were doing some hiking and stuff, but it was cloudy and rainy the whole time, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah.
So yeah, that monsoon season, that's where they get most of their rain, and I did read too, Ray, that there's another unstable, humid air mass over that region right now. They showed a picture in Arizona. Looked like it was somewhere close to a little bit west of the Painted Desert. If you guys know where that's at, it's on I-40, right, Ray? When you're going towards Flagstaff.
Yes.
And that was today. This is that we record on Wednesday, so that was today. They're expecting some flash floods, heavy rains in certain areas. You don't really know where, but so if you're in that area, what are you going to do, Ray?
You got to be alert. Be alert when you're headed down that area. You know, you don't know when the rain's going to come and, you know, take you away.
Watch the forecast.
Watch the forecast. You don't want to
bring your floaty, Ray. Bring your floaty just in case there's flash floods.
I got to put one in my truck too.
Yeah, the pink donut floaty in his truck.
Yeah.
So guys, anybody out in the southwest, New Mexico, Arizona, let's be safe. Be alert. Check the forecast. Know where you're going. And what kind of weather's coming.
Absolutely.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then you'll see that, and then you'll see Ray floating by him in his floaty in the flashlight.
Offering help.
Yeah.
What's up, fool?
And then the.
Yeah, and then wants to do a level 1.
Yeah, when I'm driving through
then
there,
you'll
I'll
have
be
DOT coming up, knocking
yeah,
on
there
the
you go,
window
just
in
in
the boat,
case.
asking to see
Be
the boat.
safe, Ray. Be safe.
Yeah.
What else we got? And there's some news and Talkin Truckin news, Ray.
Oh yeah, Kumar's car broke down, huh? That's the big one.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
so, he's out in Ohio right now. Is he being towed yet? We don't know.
Who's towing him?
Oh no,
I think Christian Sneed.
Christian Sneed's on his way to tow
from the Dawson.
Yeah, his you know, well, not his stunt double, but he's coming to help his stunt double.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christian Sneed is on his way to tow Kumar. So that's in the news. And Ian Dunlop lost at Glacier National Park, presumed to be dead.
No, he's not.
Nope.
I can't believe you wrote that.
Killed by a bear.
You know, hey Mike, Doty, did you see in our office group chat last night? Ian sent a picture. This was so funny. Did you see that? Ian sent a picture of him and his wife, and Ian has like this backpack thing and he's got this
like a German yodeler.
A German yodeler, like a Switzerland guy with the shorts and the hiking boots. And I wish he had a little green cone hat or something. But I couldn't take it when I saw that picture. And can you please put that up on the show, Zach?
Yeah, I will for sure.
And I'm looking at it now.
And then I
sent an ad for Levitra.
I didn't know what Levitra was. I just saw. I picked out a picture that looked like Ian, and like a little Swiss Alps climbing guy, and he kind of does look like him in that picture. But then Zach says, Do you really send an ad for Levitra? Is that what it is, Zach?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not gonna go into what that is. That drug is for, but I didn't know, and I looked it up, and everybody it was hilarious.
Oh
So,
my goodness!
That
And
was
then of
pretty good.
course, last
we thought
week
it
we
was?
came-
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
up Robert Selby's parked outside Deaton office, waiting on a new windshield for his truck.
Yep. Usually spends Tuesday through Thursday here, sometimes Friday.
Every other week.
Then he goes out west. So
Yeah.
thanks, Ray, for taking care of the news. For Ian Dunlap, we're probably going to have a combination of you and Kumar do it again next week, and then Ian will be back the following week. He had a long family vacation. His whole family's going, his parents, and brother, sister, and their spouses and all that. Because it's such a long drive, we usually don't take 2-week back-to-back vacations. You get 2 weeks a year here, but he planned it way ahead and wanted to, they're driving out there, so that's why he's gone so long.
Looks like fun too.
Yeah. All right, let's get on to trucking with Kumar, and since Kumar is with Christian Sneed towing his car in Columbus, Ohio, Matthew, who's in the studio, does our videos and puts everything together for our show on the video production side. Matthew's here, and Matthew's filling in for Kumar. So we're doing questions with Matthew. Jim Mackey. Jim Mackey, are you
Yes.
ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. Nate, Ray,
Let's go.
let's ride.
That's
Yep.
right.
All right, man. Here we go, guys.
All right.
Question 1.
By the way, even though Matthew's my son, just so everybody knows, he's never worked in trucking. He doesn't usually pay attention during this segment on the show. He's usually just working on his video stuff. And he's a video production major down at Ohio State, so he drives up every week for this. He knows nothing, so this could get interesting.
But he's got 25%
Let's ride.
of a chance. All right, Matt. Which of the following is not an endorsement you can have on your CDL? A tanker. B, a dump truck. C, hazmat. D, doubles and triples.
An endorser you can have on your CDL, or
You cannot have.
Cannot
you
have
cannot have
an
on your
endorsement.
CDL.
Read the answers
Okay.
again. A,
Tanker,
B,
dump truck,
C,
hazmat,
D.
doubles and triples. These are endorsements. Matt.
One you can't have.
Doubles and triples, D.
And why?
Honestly, it sounded.
It's not a brawl.
You're wrong,
It
Matt.
sounded interesting. I don't know.
You're wrong. It's not double. You can have doubles and triples or the wiggle wagons. That's you remember that?
I remember the word wiggle wagon. I don't remember what a wiggle wagon
I'm
is.
still
Well, now
waiting
you
on-
know it's a double. Trailers, two trailers connected
those
together.
FedEx
and
trailers
then-
that
or
you see
three.
yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
Yes.
turnpike.
A
Still
dump
waiting
truck
on-
is not an endorsement, Matt.
Kumar's wiggle wagon.
A dump truck is a dump truck.
A dump truck is a dump truck, but what I mean, like.
Well, think
what's
about it
an
this way.
endorsement on your
But you
CDL?
do know
That
what a
means-
wiggle worm
Something
is, right?
completely
That's the
different.
problem I'm having with my guy.
It's
too
a
much dump
license.
truck.
It's something else that is you're valid to do on your
Oh,
license.
I see. Okay, got
yeah.
you, got you.
Way off.
Okay, yeah, that was.
I don't even need my guys to answer that one.
Well,
Whoops.
Hey, Doty, didn't we bet $50 you got Matthew? I got my guys.
Oh, we were letting it roll.
Russell just wants a guaranteed win, right?
Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's go.
All right, round 2.
question 2. If you experience a breakdown or some other type of emergency, how far from your vehicle should your reflective triangles be? A, 10 feet, 100 feet, and 200 feet. B, 20 feet, 100 feet, and 200 feet. C, 10 feet, 100 feet, and 100 feet. Or D, 20 feet, 200 feet, and 200 feet.
So Matthew, you got 3 triangles. He's giving you the 3 distances for
Okay.
each one.
I see.
You're in trouble. You're broke down on the
Broke
highway,
down,
side of the road.
Get reflectors out, and you're going to put them out how far?
A is what again? Read it again.
10 feet, 100 feet, and 200 feet.
B,
20 feet, 100 feet, and 200 feet.
C,
10 feet, 100 feet, and 100 feet.
and D.
20 feet, 200 feet, and 200 feet.
What do you think, Matt?
Thank you for reading that again. I would say, 200 feet seems a little much. So I would probably go with was it B, 10 feet, 20 feet, 100 feet? Or
What was B?
A B was
B,
20 feet.
20 feet, 100
100
and
feet
200.
and 200 feet.
What was A?
10 feet, 100 feet, and 200 feet.
So C.
Was 10 feet, 100 feet, and 100 feet.
So that wasn't any of them.
Okay, that wasn't any of
Okay.
them. I'm on a good track. Okay, I would go with
Or
B.
D, 20 feet, 200 feet, and 200 feet.
I would go with B.
You want to go with 20 feet, 100 feet, and 200 feet?
Yes.
Okay. What do you guys say?
What do you say, Jim Mackey?
To be honest with you, I couldn't hear the options, so.
Okay, let's go. So
Uh,
the first one was 10 feet,
100 feet, and 200
100 feet, and 200 feet. B,
was 20 feet, 100 feet, and 200 feet.
C,
10 feet, 100 feet, and 100 feet. D,
And-
20 feet,
I'm gonna
200
say
feet, and 200 feet.
Can I change my answer?
no.
Yes.
What do you say, Jim?
See,
C is what?
C's correct.
Oh,
10 feet, 100 feet, and 100 feet.
That makes sense after he said it for the third time.
really? I would have.
You would have said 200. 10, 100, and 200?
Yeah, I was
remembered
gonna say
in
10 feet. I was gonna
orientation.
say A, 10 feet, 100 feet, and 200
Well, I got
feet.
this off the Inquirer, so I don't know.
National Enquirer?
Doesn't it have to? Does it have to?
So you
make a
put one
triangle?
cone at 10 feet,
10
and then you
feet,
put
100
two.
feet.
Matt asked if it
and
has to
100
make a triangle.
Like, is that why it's 10 feet, 100 feet, and 100 feet? Is that
No.
a triangle?
What kind of triangle is
What do you
that?
say, Robert?
Draw that
10
out.
feet and then 100 feet, 100 feet. I don't know what direction I was going in.
You're on the road.
You're on the side of the road, There-
Blocking the entire highway now.
and you're gonna make a triangle with your triangles.
Okay, well, if I break
Sorry,
down,
man.
if I break down, it's about me. Everyone
You break down, just stay in your car until somebody gets there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Call
no
AAA.
triangle. They're dangerous.
So C. Okay, so we got it. Mackie got it.
All right. Ready for the third?
Yeah, let's
Alright,
go.
Ready for the third.
All right. Question 3. A road that falls under the jurisdiction of a government or other public agency and allows public travel is known as what? A, a private road. B, a public road. C, a freeway. D, a highway.
I would. What? So
Read it one more time.
A road that falls under the jurisdiction of a government or other public agency and allows public travel is known as what? Private road, public road, freeway, or highway?
is this one of those trick questions?
No.
'Cause isn't a freeway and a highway the same thing?
I don't know. What's your answer?
Well, I guess I can't go wrong. C.
Freeway?
It's a freeway. Oh wait.
Nope.
He didn't say final answer.
Okay, what do you say?
Excuse me.
I-
How much time we got left on the show?
D. Highway.
We say Jim.
B, public.
I say Robert.
Public road? B. What do you say, Ray?
I'm gonna say B because it's in the description, public. So
Garner, you agree?
Yep, it's B.
I agree with them too, Joel. I hope we're right.
You guys are right. A public
All right.
road is considered one that falls under jurisdiction of a city or state government. Is
Mass-
that trucking related?
3-0, my guys.
yeah,
All
This
right.
week is rolling for sure, by the way.
So Tina threw in a question this week. Do you got that
I
one?
got one more if you want.
Oh, go ahead.
Truck-related.
No, you can ask both.
does it involve
That's
passion?
Bofa.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Can you drive a commercial motor vehicle after removing a defective tire so that you have 3 tires on an axle rather than 4? Depends on the state. No. Yes, if the weather conditions permit. Or you can drive as long as the weight does not exceed the max limit. I can read those again.
Please, please do.
With the air horn.
All right.
So you have a blowout on the side of the
All
road
right,
in
can
a
you-
tractor trailer, Matt.
Okay.
Can you drive your vehicle after a defective tire so that you have 3 tires on an axle rather than 4? Depends on the state. No. Yes, if the weather permits. As long as, or D, as long as the weight does not exceed the max limit.
I'm gonna go with B. No.
Ray?
Final answer.
Lock it in.
As long as it doesn't exceed the weight limit.
That's right.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Garner,
B
what do
as
you
well.
say, Jim?
As long as it doesn't exceed the weight.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Matt, you got to repeat truck driving school.
See, that's
Yeah, apparently I gotta go back.
He's going to Swift Academy.
Well, you think in your right mind you wouldn't be able to roll
Hey.
with a missing tire.
well, see, that's the funny thing because DOT would rather have an empty rim with no tire
As
on
long
it
as you take the
than
debris
have
away.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, and then
Yeah.
have an
Get you
actual
off the road.
tire on the rim.
Because
They
on
let
that
you
one
ride-
axle,
they let you ride with the rim only.
yeah, but your rim's
Yeah.
not on the ground. You got 3 other
Oh,
tires
right,
on
right,
that
right,
same axle that holds that up in the air.
Can't be worth
Yeah.
34,000.
Get you off the road to a safe haven or safe spot, so you can get it changed.
Got you. Okay.
1,000
Good
miles down the
question,
road.
Joel.
Thank you.
That was a good.
Hey Matt, real quick.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
what year did Jerry Reed's Eastbound and Down come out? A. 1984. B. 1969. C. 1977. Or D. 1990.
What's his name again?
Jerry Reed.
Jerry Reed. And who is
Eastbound and Down.
Is
Sing
he
a
a singer?
sing a line of it, Joel, so he knows what it is.
he? Yeah, go ahead.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. We gonna do what they say
It can't be done.
All right.
Okay.
You probably heard that in
Well,
my
that's
car or
Jesse.
truck
I sure have.
when
There's-
you were growing
there's
up.
Like a handful.
That's
of
how he
songs
sings
that
it, too.
consistently play in my head because Dad never stopped listening to that.
So what year?
Oh, smoke.
What
I
year?
would say 1969.
Right?
In the 70s, whatever that year was in the
He said-
70s.
What was the answers again?
84,
77.
69, 77, or 90.
Oh, okay. Six.
Oh,
I'm gonna go.
Smokey's got his ears on.
What do you say, Ray? 77?
Yeah, 77.
He
77.
ain't gonna rest.
I
You're in
agree.
jail.
I'm going to
All
say
right.
77.
77. You
77.
got to dodge them. You got to duck them. You got to keep that diesel trucking.
I love it.
There we go.
It's
All right.
69,
I
but
love
yeah.
that
Wow,
line.
4-0.
Ask
You
your
have
question,
been no
Russ.
help for Kumar.
I've never been a good test taker.
On the crickets this week.
I should have had the sardines here. All right.
Table more.
Sardines.
One more. Tina thought of one that she said there. Tina's dad was a truck driver, and when she was growing up, and he retired doing that, and she didn't know anything about trucking until she came to work for us, except for this one thing. And she asked if we would see what you know about it.
Do you actually have the question, Russ?
I do.
Probably. I don't want to mess.
Okay, I thought he wrote it down. So the question is, the Mansfield bar, which is the DOT bumper. For most of you, if you don't know, it's called the Mansfield bar. So it's a DOT bumper on your trailer. That was passed into law based on an accident that happened, and the person was fatally injured or killed. And so what was that person's name? Jim Mansfield, Harold Mansfield, Jane Mansfield, or Buford Mansfield?
Does this have anything to do with Mansfield, Ohio, or no?
No, it's just the last name. I asked the same thing.
Okay.
Jim Mansfield, Harold Mansfield, Jane Mansfield, or Buford Mansfield was fatally killed in the crash before they came up with the DOT bumper called the Mansfield bar. What was
I
her
would
name?
say Gerald Mansfield.
That wasn't one of the choices.
You're gonna pencil that one.
Did you
Jim
say-
Mansfield,
I meant to
Charles
say Harold.
Mansfield?
Harold.
Harold Mansfield.
Oh, okay.
Ray,
Yes.
Ray, do you know?
Or Harold.
No, I don't. I don't.
We've
know.
got them all
I
right.
know.
Okay. Mackie,
I
you
know.
don't know?
I do know.
Well, okay.
Of
What
course
is
he
it?
does.
It was Jane Mansfield. She
That
was
is
killed in a
correct.
car accident in,
Yes.
I believe it was 1958.
I think you're right. And Jim was 45 then.
I
Jim's a
wasn't even
vampire.
born then.
He was doing a load.
Yeah.
Swinging meat.
Cab
Oh,
over.
most people call it the ICC bumper now.
Do they? What's that stand for?
Good. I have honestly never looked into it. That's what I've
Yeah.
always heard people refer to it as. And it's,
Ah.
I've never even know that. So
But yeah, that is, and I remember that too from when I was in truck driving school. And I was really shocked that Tina knew that. She brought it up a long time ago, and then I was like, "Wow, how'd you know that?" And she doesn't know it from trucking or anything. I think she learned it in school, or it came up in college or something like that, and she just knew it. So
And where is that located? Is it just like
in
the
an
actual-
encyclopedia or Google, you can Google it.
I meant the Mansfield bumper.
Oh,
Also,
Mansfield, Ohio.
Thank you.
that's so. If you think about the back of a tractor trailer, of the trailer, below the back doors you'll see a bar that comes down. It's two lines, two lines down, and then one across. That'll stop a
That stops
car
a car
from
from
being
going.
able to go under it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you extra credit if you can draw it.
Unless you're in a Fiero,
Yeah.
like Fiero trike.
If you can be like Johnny Five and draw it on the screen.
To answer your question, Russ, it's Interstate Commercial Commission.
Oh,
Bar.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too long.
What's ICP stand for?
Whoop whoop.
Insane Clown Posse.
I was gonna say insane clown posse.
Anybody got any Fago around?
Hey Jim, where are you headed? I know you're going out west, right?
Yeah, I
almost
went
there.
to Hermiston, Oregon yesterday afternoon, Sumter, Washington this morning, and now I am about 2 miles away from Woodburn, Oregon.
And that's your final, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We can go to Boring.
Yeah, you can stop in Boring and say hi to our
there you
friends
go.
at the Boring Brewing Company.
Well, I thought about that, but I don't know if I'll have time. If you don't get me a load right away tomorrow, I might do that.
Yeah.
up in Boring.
Well, we're 3 hours behind or ahead of you. So, and Doty, I might need you in the morning. It's me, Zach, Joel, and I. We got the money going in. Ian sent him out there. We'll get him. We got to get him something coming out tomorrow.
No, Nikki sent me out here.
Oh, Nikki sent you out there. I thought Ian did.
No,
Yeah,
Nikki found it.
we've all been filling in for Ian. So, but yeah, we'll get you something. Doty will help us.
Yeah, where's he filing that?
Woodburn, Oregon, tomorrow at what time? 2 o'clock in the
No,
afternoon.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock
Oh.
tonight.
8 o'clock tonight. So he should be empty when we get in the office tomorrow, Mike.
Need to load a Sandwich, England.
Woodburn, Oregon, and if you see something, Mike, you just call Jim. You guys can go over it. I'll be looking first thing too.
Probably be
Eastbound and down.
what's today? Tomorrow's Thursday. Man,
Tomorrow's
it's,
Thursday.
No,
yeah. And I was thinking if tomorrow was like Wednesday, go down
Get
to Southern
SoCal, then
California.
come
Yeah.
Yeah.
And down south.
We need to look and see what like the Bay Area. He could. Oh, yeah, he could get down to the Bay Area by Friday, and then come out if that's good. Well, we'll all work on it tomorrow,
We'll
Jim.
talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
We were gonna look today. I know Zach brought it up this morning, but honestly, we were slammed in here today, and
And Joel's got a gold chain on.
Joel's got his
I was wondering where that was. I saw you with it at first, and then I didn't see it. Wondering where it was.
Doty and I went on a conference call today with a customer account that we have an opportunity for one of Doty's guys and maybe a few other guys. So it took us a while this afternoon to figure it out and figure out the money and all that. But it looks pretty good, doesn't it, Mike?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's-
especially with that additional layover.
Yeah.
And I talked to Lee about it too for a little bit. He's for it. He's just
Yeah.
a little worried that same thing as me of just about them keeping him busy.
Yeah.
No downtime. But as long as they run him by all calculations, as long as they run him about 1,800 miles a week, he
He's
should be
gonna
able
do
to
great.
do what he's doing now.
Yeah. And
Take
have
home
the
wise.
34 on the weekend at home.
Yeah, because just in that between the fuel surcharge and the accessories, it's like a little over $2,000 that goes straight into his pocket that we don't take a percentage of.
Yeah, Mike and I figured it out today, and Lee's in a brand new truck, lease truck. So if he were to get rid of his trailer payment, his dry van payment, on the very low end running 1,800 miles, Mike, and Lee's around this now, but he's not home as often. But at the very least, 1,800 miles, which is less than he runs now, he would take home about $3,000 and be home on a 34 every weekend.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah. So, and we had a conference call with the whole team at DHL, and we, put the numbers on the paper. Mike and I did with them, and it looks like it's, they really need drivers for it. So, we already have the deal with them through Metal Arc, but Mike Candace and Nikki Bissett came to us and said that, they think it's a pretty good opportunity. They told us on the phone too, Mike, that he'll stay busy. The only inconsistent part is you're not going to the same place all the time because they deliver at a lot of different stores. but it sounds like he's going to be pretty busy. There is a catch, though, that it is driver assist, so that he does have to help.
He asked what that entailed. I wasn't sure. What is it? Is it tires?
It's tires and wheels, but I don't think it's like they're just, we've hauled tire loads and we don't haul too many of them anymore, where they just throw a bunch of tires in a trailer and you're huffing every tire, one at a time by hand. I don't think it's that, because Nikki Bissett told me last week and today, the other guy that's doing it on another fleet, I guess it wasn't bad at all. She said the driver assist part's not bad at all. Don't let them be scared of that. And I got to go with what Nikki says. She would know.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I think it'll be cool. We'll try it out with Lee, and there's a possibility of another driver we're talking to about it, because they need a few more, but we're not going to go all in. Let's see what Lee thinks of it, and if it's I believe it's what they say it is. If it's what they say it is, then we can start trickling a few more guys in there, whoever wants to do it.
Yeah.
So, but with that said, guys, I appreciate it. We lost a few of our key people this week, and we pulled it off. Yeah, we pulled it off with Matt and Ray on the news. I appreciate that, guys. Also, Jim Mackey, whose birthday is it today?
Oh, that's right. It's Amanda Roth's birthday today.
Well, happy birthday, Mandy Roth, from the crew at Talkin Truckin.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
And closing out the show, Truckworx, Kenworth of Dothan, Alabama. Brian, we'll talk to you soon. I want to get a little closer on some numbers on those new trucks for next year. Over the road apparel, work clothes for the modern day trucker. Prime Wellness and Performance in San Antonio, Texas. And Ray, football season's about to start. We gotta shoot Louie a text soon and set something up where we can talk again. We don't have to go through the whole story. We appreciated episode 5 when he came on, but we can just talk football with him, and that'll be fun, even if it's just a shorter segment. We'll talk to him about that. He said he'd come back.
College football.
And
he's got some stock in as well for from their store. They got some new stuff in the store, so check out that website.
Check out their website. What is the website? Just Prime Wellness and Performance, Ray?
I
think it is.
In front of me.
I think it is. You can probably find it if you Google that. Tina and I were on it when they first opened, but I'll check it back out because we were going to order some stuff. They had some pretty cool stuff, but it just wasn't all set up yet. They had just opened that day, so
you can like them as well on Facebook too.
Okay. Well, I can't. I'm not on there, but Tina can do that. And be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Check out the Spotify. And with that said, go Browns, go Indians, and go Cavaliers.
Go Cavaliers.